audio and the video later so that it's all
right.
together.
You ready?
Okay. Everybody settle. I've already got it.
Yeah.
I know, but I want to do with action for me.
Oh, okay.
Action. This podcast is not an alternative for mental health assistance and or counseling with a licensed professional. For any specific medical questions about your condition and or concerns, please contact your healthcare provider. All right. Here we are. This is Lipstick and Coffee. We're the Somasisters.
We didn't even talk about
We didn't
lipstick
talk?
and coffee. We'll do it today. In our origin episode.
Okay.
Now that you say that, that's just so delayed, but at least I remember it. That's okay.
Okay, so here's the thing.
Yeah.
This is Lipstick and Coffee. We're the Somasisters. We're going to talk to you today about one of our 4 pillars that we are always going to be discussing. And the first one is that you are okay. And you're going to hear more about that in a minute, but it is actually really important that we let you know why is this Lipstick and Coffee. And yeah.
Just to add to that though, in case someone didn't see the Origins episode,
Yes.
there is always there's 4 main what do we call them?
I like the pillars. I like the word pillar.
Okay, yeah, let's do it. So there's 4 main pillars that anything and everything, any episode we ever talk about, really, truly, have something to do with one of those 4 pillars. They always come back to that. So number 1 was you're okay.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2 pillar is you're not alone. Number 3 pillar is it's not your fault. And number 4 is, this one, I always feel nervous saying it because I know it must trigger people. Your pain has purpose. Mm-hmm. It does though.
Was that your trigger right
That,
there?
yeah, that's like, yeah.
Your
you know?
nervousness. Ooh.
Yeah. Those 4 things.
Yeah.
So, but today's episode is that we're talking about the first one.
Yeah.
That you're okay.
You're okay.
And we will also mention what lipstick and coffee is. And I think we should also mention what Soma is, so people know the definition to Soma, because we're Soma sisters.
Yeah.
Like, so she's my big sister. We're not really blood related. What blood schmud? This is my big sister.
We're sisters. We're Soma sisters. So Soma, the word Soma, literally means all the parts of the body, minus the reproductive organs and system. I don't know why, but that's what it is.
And when you feel connection and you feel close to someone, that's your body. You feel it in your body.
So
you know?
That's what's important is the body. And that's going to be something that we discuss throughout for years. For years. We're always going to be bringing it back to our body because it's through our body that we are actually experiencing. You know, like you said.
Experiencing, period.
Yeah.
Your emotions, everything. Everything we feel is in our bodies.
And through our bodies.
Yeah.
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 So Lipstick and Coffee, that title came about.
So, yeah, right? So it's like lipstick and coffee. Like, what's that all about? Well, lipstick and coffee both represent something. So lipstick is, to us, okay, well, first I want to say, you know, when there's a special occasion, right? That's when most women put their lipstick on.
Unless you're me and I wear it. I can't leave the house without it.
And I get it, but it's associated with, I would think, that's my perspective. It's associated with, oh, you're getting ready, like there's something going on. Oh,
something special.
Something special, yeah. You're going to a special event, so you're gonna put your lipstick on. Well, guess what? If you woke up this morning, it's a special event. Mm-hmm. If you're breathing, are you breathing? Yeah. Guess what? You have purpose. It's a special event. Anytime your eyes open, any morning that your eyes open, it's a special event. Well, so we put our lipstick on every morning.
I don't put my lipstick on at night. You're right.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we don't put it on to go to bed. We put it like I don't have to go to. I don't have to put my lipstick on to go to the corner store either, and it's all good if some people do that. I'm not.
I do.
I'm right. Yeah. Right. Like yeah, you just feel.
But then maybe going to the corner store for me is a special event. But I see what you're saying. That it represents
that you're alive. Mm-hmm. You're alive. If you're breathing, you have purpose. If you're alive, I mean, it is a privilege and it is a blessing and it is a gift to be in this vessel that we call a body, a meat suit, whatever you want to call it. This is an information station. This is what you experience this life through. So whether you're going through a major depression and you're wearing the same clothes you wore 16 days ago and you still haven't showered or brushed your teeth, that's okay. You opened your eyes this morning and you have purpose. It's an occasion. You're not done here yet. If you wake up, you're not done. Your journey's not over. So I'm passionate. Lipstick, the lipstick part is, that's why we wear a lipstick, because we're alive and we're breathing and it's a celebration. It's something to be.
I'm also hearing that it's a way to recognize that, right? It's a way to recognize that for ourselves, that okay, this is meaningful, that I'm still here.
Yeah.
The sun came up this morning. Can you imagine what would happen if it
like
didn't?
you said, my lungs are breathing for me.
Yeah.
My heart is still beating.
Yeah.
My digestive system's working. Yeah.
These are all amazing things.
I'm not controlling those things. Those things are a blessing. Those things are happening without my permission.
Yeah, without our conscious mind really being
Yeah, like
involved.
you don't wake up and say, okay, let's keep eating today. Let's
Before
keep
we
breathing.
get too far off track,
Yeah, okay,
though,
let's not get
can
far
we
off
come
track.
back
So
to the
lipstick,
coffee?
yeah, so lipstick.
So lipstick is to recognize all this amazingness that is us, and
because that's what the truth is. That's what the truth is, you know. And
the coffee.
the coffee is, well, typically people drink coffee to wake up, right? It's something you do in the morning. It's not something you usually do before bed, unless you're like my family, like a bunch of Sicilians who drink espresso no matter what time it is, and it doesn't matter, you can sleep anyway. But typically you drink coffee in the morning to wake up. And the coffee part really is, how do I explain this? It's like, you know what? There's a part of us, even though we're walking and we're breathing, there's parts of us that are sleeping. And sleep, we all know how important sleep is. Sleep is good. Sleep is very vital, actually, to your well-being. But waking up, in this lipstick and coffee sense, means waking up to your own potential. Waking up to your own truth. Waking up to what resonates with you. Because things that are happening are actually not happening to you. They're happening for you. And that's a perspective, but that's what we believe. And you cannot, I always say this, right? You cannot remember or rediscover anything that you don't forget. So the forget is part of sleeping. That? Yeah, sure.
So so we have to forget.
Yeah.
In order to have the experience of remembering. In order to have the experience of waking up, there has to be parts of us that are like obscured, that we're not aware of. Because as you were talking, the word awareness kept coming to my mind. That the waking up is becoming aware that this body that we have, regardless of if we're having a hard time getting it out of bed or being motivated to do anything, we still do have it. Yeah. And there still is potential. Yeah. And that's special. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So it's not just a lipstick stick and a cup of coffee, you know what I mean? It's like it goes deeper than that for us. Yeah. But that's what it is. Lipstick and coffee. Yeah.
And I like both.
Yeah.
I like lipstick. I like coffee.
Yeah.
Okay, so that kind of brings us to the you are okay.
Yeah.
You are okay. Why is it important to even say that out loud? Because a lot of times it's the opposite that's playing in the background of our mind, right? That I'm not okay. What's wrong with me? Or there is something wrong with me. And that can come out like in our language without even knowing it. For example, I am the kind of person that will have to go back home to check the stove to make sure I shut it off, like literally 4 times. 4 times. I go to check it, and then come back out of the house and I'm like, I know I walked in, but I actually don't remember what I saw when I looked at this. So 4 times I could do this. And then what do I say to myself? I'm like, oh, what's wrong with you? Oh, what's wrong with me? What's my problem? Right? So these little ways, these little seemingly small phrases that we tell ourselves are, you mentioned tip of the iceberg last time. It's like, those are the tip of the iceberg, and the iceberg is what's going on underneath. Almost like our foundation, and our foundation is often this belief that there's something wrong with me, that I'm not okay.
Would you say that that part of the iceberg that's under the water is like our subconscious?
Yeah, absolutely. Another way of saying it. So all those subconscious or unconscious beliefs that we have about ourselves that we carry with us often our whole lives,
Not
until
even
we wake up.
realizing it, yes, right, yeah. And the realizing it is the waking up.
Yeah.
Like, so there's
Yeah. And this can also really come out in, people use the word hypochondriac, et cetera, but really oftentimes when we notice something in our bodies, a pain or something's different or strange, our minds can go this way. Oh my God, there's something wrong. What's wrong with me?
Instinctively.
And it's what comes with that is a fear or a panic. It's so funny. I don't know many people who will feel a pain or something and they're like, "Ooh, I wonder what my body is adjusting for me right now." But the fact of the matter is, we actually don't know. We literally, and I have an example. I know you have an example. Can I tell mine first?
Of course, totally.
So a couple of years ago, in the afternoon, I was a little hungry. I was eating some chips. I bit a chip and my jaw cracked. So, like, the sound in my head was so loud. And immediately my gut, like, seized up like this. And I thought, oh, what have I done? Right? Like, something's
wrong.
very wrong. And there was pain. I could barely eat dinner that night. But it took probably 30 seconds before my mind did this. I've broken my jaw. I'm going to need surgery. My jaw is going to be wired shut for the next 3 months. How will I ever work? How will I pay my bills? I'm going to be on the street. So it took no time for my mind to experience the pain, hear the crack, and then decide that I'm going to be on the street in 3 months, right? And this, I'm assuming, is going to resonate with people. You're smiling. So what ended up happening? The next day, I actually started to feel better. By the next day, I was fine, and one day I was kind of doing this, and I realized, what happened to the tingling? I used to have a tingling sensation my whole, 50 plus years. This tingle, and I just thought everyone had a tingle. I thought this was the spot in your jaw that tingled.
That's how it felt for everyone when they
Well, it was gone. And then after that, I realized I wasn't having as many headaches. And then I started thinking to that moment when my jaw cracked, and I was like, hold up. Maybe my jaw was out of place my whole life, hence the tingling and the headaches. And then it shifted and went back into place, and now I'm better. But my initial story that I told myself was that something's very wrong. So that comes from deep down in our unconscious, a core belief that there's something wrong with me. Otherwise, my mind would have told myself a whole different story, because literally the only thing that knew what was going on when that jaw cracked was my body. So, and I know you have a similar story.
Yeah, well, my story, it's just funny, right? How your brain can jump to conclusions, oh, it knows, your brain,
and then it feels like the truth, right?
Yeah.
It feels like, no, this is the truth.
Yeah,
this is exactly
really
how it is.
This is really what it is. So I was, one day I'm going to try, I know I can go on forever. I can talk a lot. So I'm going to try to keep this, short and sweet. So one day, something was in my eye. You know what I mean? Everyone gets that feeling. I'm sure everyone's experienced, something's there. You're trying to, you keep rubbing, you're trying to get it out. And so I thought to myself, you know what? I kept going to the mirror. I couldn't help but go to the mirror every so many minutes because it's like something's got to be in there, and I'm looking and I'm not seeing anything, but you can feel it, you know, like you can feel it. So I had this bright idea of just putting some like I wanted to like irrigate my eyeball. So I took some Visine and I squirted a whole bunch of Visine in there, right? But I could feel it still. Like I could still feel like something was there. Whatever, it was, you know, I thought I'm gonna go for a walk. My son and I were about to go for a walk, and I thought I'd do that before we went for a walk. So I do that, I irrigate it, and we go for a walk, and I come back from a walk, and, you know, take my jacket off, whatever, and it's like, you know, something's still kind of bugging me. So I go back to the mirror, and I look again. What do I see? This pupil, completely like dilated. I could barely see, my eyes are blue. I could barely see any blue on this left eyeball. And it was like the weirdest sensation because I panicked and I'm thinking, okay, there's something neurologically wrong with me right now. Like my pupil is huge. That is not normal. And only the one side. I knew something was wrong with my eye. I knew there was something wrong.
So that confirmed that
it
there was
did
something
confirm
wrong.
it. I knew it.
Okay.
But there was nothing wrong with my pupil before I left. So I'm thinking something's progressing here. There's something going on. Like this turned into me going to the clinic because I was panicking. Like that's just not normal. Like that's not normal for your pupil, one pupil, to go big like that. I went to the clinic. The clinic looked at my eye. The clinic, like the building looked at my eye. The doctor looked at my eye. He wasn't very comfortable with this, so he recommended I go to ER. I go to ER. I wait there forever, however many hours I was there. They did a scan. They did you know, blood pressure. They did everything you can think of. By around 2:30 in the morning, when the ER, what's EI? Oh, EI. The ER doctor comes in with the results, and he lets me know, we did a brain scan, everything is fine. Who sent you to the ER? Because like everything, we've done blood work, we've looked at everything, everything's okay. Like and it's your pupil's not even dilated anymore. Long story short, we realize it was the Visine. It was the flippin' Visine that made my pupil go as enormous as it did. Yeah, so I completely wasted my time at the ER for all those hours, and just being in the ER triggered the anxiety that I already had. It was crazy. So that's an example of that I was actually okay. I'm not saying that something couldn't have been wrong, but what I'm trying to put the focus on is the fact of how powerful your mind is, and the thoughts that can just take right over and convince you of something that completely is not.
Okay, so that's sort of where we come to a really important point, is that we have a mind and we have a body.
Yeah, I know now that they're two separate.
Well, they work together, but
they're in the same vessel, but like they're not.
And even then, we're not so sure
Yeah.
about the mind. But the key is this: that what's real, meaning reality, is what we experience with our bodies, because our bodies exist in real time. Our bodies exist in the present moment. I cannot hear a sound from the past.
I just want to mention that fact that blows my mind.
Mm-hmm.
If let's say, I mean, because thinking about, well, it works both ways for something negative or something positive, but the negative just seems to be more of like an impact. If you're sitting here right now watching this, if you just pause for a second and just think, or maybe not, but like if you think of something that you went through, you experienced, be it last week, 4 months ago, 16 years ago, whenever it was, you just thinking about that event or circumstance or feeling, your body does not know the difference. Your body does not know that's not happening at this very moment. Your body thinks it is because your mind is thinking about it.
Yeah. But I have a question about that too, though. But maybe we can get into that after.
Because I'm just saying, because you're talking about the body and you're talking about the mind, and I'm just trying to say, your body will believe. No.
Our body responds to our thoughts.
Yes. Yes. So when you think you're not okay.
Yes.
And then your body starts panicking. And then, oh, my body's panicking. Something must really be wrong. Like, you see how it's so messed up.
Or working.
I know you can explain this better. I'm trying to say a billion things at once. My brain goes everywhere. But
okay, so I'm gonna pull out a few things from what you just said.
Yeah. Like your body doesn't know the difference. Is all I'm trying to say. Sorry, it doesn't know the difference between an event that is currently happening and an event that you're thinking about that happened 10 years ago. The fact that you're thinking about it will affect your body.
It will affect your body, yes. How severe the body responds to it will have something to do with how that memory has been packaged within the brain. Yeah. Because there are certain things, like, for example, when people experience PTSD, I'm not, this is like layman's terms, but the brain packages memory and experience, and it can kind of put it away so that it doesn't interfere so much in our everyday life. But when we experience trauma, then those memories can remain sort of unpackaged, so that they do interfere, and our bodies and our brains are registering the same way that they did when we initially experienced that thing that we're just remembering. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I hope it does to them too.
Okay.
I mean, if it doesn't, go ahead and ask us. Email your questions. We're gonna try. I mean, if there's 18,000 questions, I might not be able to.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll definitely.
And this is an ongoing conversation. Yeah. So, you know, we can pull out certain things of this. I mean, PTSD and trauma are things that maybe a lot of people have questions about. Mm-hmm. But I think for today, to introduce the importance of our mind and our body. There's a relationship between the two, which is what you're talking about, you know. But in terms of the mind, our minds, our thoughts can exist in the past, they can exist in the present, or they're not existing, but they're telling us something about the past, the present, or even something that's not happening where we are right now. Meaning, that's all imagination. What's real, what we can depend on as real, is what we are experiencing in this present moment with our bodies. So, for example, if I take a breath, I am taking a breath in the present moment. If I ask my mind to focus on that breath, now I am aligning my mind with my body, meaning I'm now reining in a way, my mind to stay in the present moment.
What if someone were to say right now,
mm-hmm.
okay, well, I suffer from anxiety,
mm-hmm.
and right now I feel like I'm having an anxiety attack, and you're going to tell me that right now I'm okay?
Yes, that's a great question. So when we have an anxiety attack, our mind can go really fast and start telling us about how we're not okay, especially if we have this core belief that there's something wrong with me. If we focus on those thoughts, before you know it, you're like I was when my jaw cracked, and I'm imagining this catastrophe. If I turn my mind's attention towards what's actually happening in my body, maybe a heart palpitation, maybe I'm sweating, maybe I'm having a hard time catching a breath, maybe I start to shake, okay? That's the reality of my experience in that moment. And the really, really amazing thing about being with the reality of our experience in the moment is that we are now asking the mind not to interfere with the body. And why is that important? Because the body is always moving in the direction of homeostasis, meaning balance. That I look like I'm one thing, but I am literally, and everyone is, a community of trillions of cells. And every single cell is programmed to move in the direction of homeostasis, of balance. So if I notice that my heart's palpitating and I'm sweating and I can't catch a breath, and it might be embarrassing depending on where we are, it might be scary, but here's the thing. All of those mechanisms are what the body does to realign itself, to bring it back into balance. But sometimes when we don't know that, we interfere with that and we make things worse.
Yeah, because our brain tells us, oh, this is not good, something's wrong, I'm not okay.
Exactly. So here's where, it's so important for us to be letting people know that they are okay. That our bodies literally don't have the knowledge available to them to self-destruct. That anything we notice that's happening in our bodies is our bodies trying to regain some balance, trying to get back on track. They can get way off track, and I know that there are lots of things that happen in people's lives. There could be environmental stuff that gets us off track, that's very unhealthy, etc., etc. But when we're just looking at a situation that happens, we have two options. Well, we may have more, but these are the two that are important. We can attach ourselves to our thoughts and let our minds spin, right? If we have a core belief that I'm not okay, those thoughts are spinning into some sort of catastrophe, and that's just going to make everything harder to come back to balance, right? The other option that we have is to ask the mind to cooperate with us, to really just pay attention to what's happening in our bodies without judging it, without pretending that we know. I didn't know what was going on with my jaw. You didn't know what was going on with your eye. But where does the mind go? It pretends that it knows that it's bad. Okay? If we don't...
My children were about to be motherless.
Right. If we don't actually know, let's come back to the truth, which is, I don't know. I'm noticing something in my body. I don't know why my body is doing that. That's the truth. We can end it there. So, where does that leave us right now? I guess the next
it's just the tip of the iceberg, because it's an ongoing conversation, and we're going to get deeper and deeper and deeper about all of these things every time.
Yeah. And it's always going to come back to this, and we are always interested in hearing what you have to say. So we invite you to comment, email us, and we'll see you next time. Lipstick and Coffee is not filmed in front of a live studio audience.